Have a nice time to all. Today we will study about solution of linear congruences. Solution of linear congruence. A linear congruence means it is an equation of the form Ax congruent to B mod n, and its solution means that an integer x0 satisfying the equation Ax0 congruent to B mod n. So if we are asked to solve a linear congruence Ax congruent to B mod n, we have to find the integer x0 such that A into x0 is congruent to B mod n. For example, suppose we have the congruence 3x congruent to 9 mod 12. We have to find the integer x such that 3 into x when divided by 12, the remainder is 9. Suppose we choose x0 as 3. Then we have 3 into 3 which is 9, which is congruent to 9 mod 9. The equation is actually correct here because 9 minus 9 equal to 0, which is a multiple of 12, or when 9 is divided by 12, the remainder is 9 itself. And the quotient here is 0. Therefore, x0 equal to 3 is a solution of this linear congruence. There may be other solutions also. Suppose we choose x0 as negative 9. Then we have 3 into minus 9, that is minus 27, which is congruent to 9 mod 12. That is minus 27 minus 9 equal to minus 36, which is a multiple of 12. So this linear congruence is correct. That is x0 equal to minus 9 is also a solution of this linear congruence. Now how can we locate the exact solutions of a linear congruence? That's a method we are going to study. Here the theorem says that the linear congruence Ax congruent to B mod n has a solution if and only if D divides B, where D is the GCD of A and n. If D divides B, then it has D mutually incongruent solutions modulo n. So here we have to solve the linear congruence Ax congruent to B mod n. This congruence means that Ax minus B is a multiple of n. So let us write Ax minus B equal to n into y, where y is an integer. That is, equation is Ax minus ny equal to B. Now you can see that this equation is a Diophantine equation in two variables x and y. A general Diophantine equation is of the form Ax plus by equal to c. And we know a Diophantine equation is solvable if D divides c, where D equal to GCD of A and B. So let us apply the result here. Here we have a Diophantine equation Ax minus ny equal to B. So let us write this equation in another way. So this can be written as minus ny plus Ax equal to B. So this is of the form sum Ax plus by equal to c. It's a Diophantine equation of this form. So in the place of A we have minus n, in the place of B we have A, and in the place of C we have B. Now let us write the solution of this Diophantine equation. As per the formula, we have x equal to x0 plus b by d into t, and y equal to y0 minus a by d into t. Here note that in the place of x here it is y, and in the place of y here it is x. Okay. So let us use this formula to find the solution of this Diophantine equation. So this is the Diophantine equation 1. So let us write the solution of equation 1. So we start with y equal to. So here in the equation we have y in the place of x. So we will use this formula. So y equal to. So let us write some y0 plus b by d into t. In the place of b here it is a. So we have a by d into t. And then we will write the value of x. So in the place of y here we have x. So we start with x equal to some x0 minus a by d into t. In the place of a we have minus n here. So we have minus n by d into t. Here we need not want the value of y actually, because we have to find the value of x satisfying this linear congruence. So we take only the value of x. So we can write x equal to x naught plus n by d into t. So this is the solution of given Diophantine equation, Ax congruent to B mod n. Now it is given that there are exactly d mutually incongruent solutions. If we give different values for this integer t, we will get different values for x. Likewise, there are infinitely many solutions for the Diophantine equation given. But in the theorem, it says that among that solutions, only d of them are mutually incongruent solutions, and all other solutions are incongruent to one of that d solutions. So let us write the solutions first. When t equal to 0, the solution is x equal to x naught. When t equal to 1, the solution is x equal to x naught plus n by d into 1. And if t equal to 2, the solution is x equal to x naught plus n by d into 2, etc. When t equal to d minus 1, the solution is x equal to x naught plus n by d into d minus 1. Now we have exactly d solutions. Starting with x naught, we have exactly d solutions. We will show that these are the d solutions which are mutually incongruent, and all other solutions are congruent to one of these solutions. And which are the other solutions? Here we give only values of t as 0, 1, 2, etc. d minus 1. If we give t equal to d, we will get another solution. When t equal to d plus 1, we will get another solution, etc. And all those solutions are congruent to one of these. So we will prove these two results. As a first result, we will show that the solutions x naught plus n by d, x naught plus 2n by d, etc. x naught plus d minus 1 into n by d are mutually incongruent modulo n. So we will take two arbitrary solutions among this list and we will show that they are mutually incongruent. Suppose x naught plus n by d into t1 is congruent to x naught plus n by d into t2, where 0 less than or equal to t1 less than t2 less than or equal to d minus 1. That means that we are taking the values of t1 and t2 which lies between 0 and d minus 1, and we take t1 as strictly less than t2. Here the value of t varies from 0, 1, 2, etc. d minus 1. So we choose two such solutions among the list. Here x naught is common to both sides, and we have the result A congruent to B mod n and C congruent to D mod n implies A plus C congruent to B plus D mod n. So we may consider the congruence minus x naught is congruent to minus x naught mod n, because minus x naught is 0, which is a multiple of n, and we may add these two congruences, then we will get n by d into t1 is congruent to n by d into t2 mod n. So we may skip this step and we may write n by d into t1 is congruent to n by d into t2 mod n. Here we can remember the result CA congruent to CB mod n implies A congruent to B mod n by d, where d is the GCD of C and n. Here C is a common factor, but we cannot cancel that C and can write A congruent to B mod n, but the result says that here CA congruent to CB mod n implies A congruent to B mod n by d, where d is the GCD of this common factor and n. So we will use that result here. First of all, we have to write the GCD of n by d and n. Here the common factor is n by d and here we have n. So we have to find the GCD of n by d and n. Actually d was GCD of A and n. So if we take n by d, it will be a divisor of n. So greatest common divisor of n by d and n is n by d itself. So we have GCD of n by d and n is n by d. So we will use this result here. So from this congruence we can conclude that T1 is congruent to T2 mod n by GCD of n by d and n. So that is T1 is congruent to T2 mod n divided by n by d, since the GCD of n by d and n is n by d, and we can conclude that T1 is congruent to T2 mod d, because n by d is d. But this is a contradiction because you can see that T1 and T2 are integers less than or equal to d minus 1, and T1 is strictly less than T2. This is possible only if both T1 and T2 are 0, but it's not possible because he had taken T1 as strictly less than T2 and both these integers are less than or equal to d minus 1. So difference of these two integers cannot be a multiple of n. Both of them are less than or equal to d minus 1 and both cannot be 0. Therefore, the difference cannot be a multiple of d. So it is a contradiction. Since the reason is 0 less than or equal to T1 less than T2 less than or equal to d minus 1. Hence, if we choose two solutions from this list and if we assume that two solutions are congruent mod n, that will lead to a contradiction. So you may conclude that all the d solutions in this list are incongruent modulo n. So we proved that given the linear congruence Ax congruent to b mod n, we have the solutions x0, x0 plus n by d, x0 plus 2n by d, etc. x0 plus d minus 1 n by d, which are mutually incongruent modulo n. That is, difference of any two solutions will not be a multiple of n. So what happens if we give the value of t as d, d plus 1, etc. or if we give minus values to t? Then that solutions are not in this list. In this list, we give the values of t as 0, 1, 2, etc. d minus 1. So if we give values of t as d, d plus 1, etc. or negative integers, that is not in this list. We will show that such solutions will be congruent modulo n to one of the solutions in this list. For that, we will take any other solution x0 plus n by d into t. So actually here t is greater than or equal to d. So by division algorithm, we can divide t by d and we may write t equal to dq plus r, where 0 less than or equal to r less than d, or it is less than or equal to d minus 1. Then our solution x0 plus n by d t equal to x0 plus n by d into dq plus r. It's equal to x0 plus n by d into dq is nq plus n by d into r. Here n into q is a multiple of n. So this is congruent to x0 plus n by d into r mod n. When we divide n into q by n, the remainder will be 0. So the whole expression will be congruent to x0 plus n by d r mod n. That is, the solution x0 plus n by d into t is congruent to x0 plus n by d into r mod n, where this r lies between 0 and d minus 1. That is, this solution x0 plus n by d into r is one among the solution in this list, because here r is lying between 0 and d minus 1. Here also the solutions are written in such a way that the multiple of n by d lies between 0 and d minus 1. Therefore, x0 plus n by dt, which is any other solution of the linear congruence, it will be congruent to x0 plus n by d r mod n. That is one of the solutions in this list. Therefore, x0 plus n by d into t is congruent modulo n to one of the solutions x0, x0 plus n by d, etc. x0 plus d minus 1 n by d. Therefore, these d solutions are exactly the d mutually incongruent solutions of the linear congruence Ax congruent to b modulo n. Hence, we proved that the linear congruence Ax congruent to B mod n is solvable if and only if D divides B, where D equal to GCD of A and n. And the mutually incongruent solutions are x0, x0 plus n by d, etc. x0 plus d minus 1 into n by d, where x0 is any one arbitrary solution. And what about the solution of the linear congruence Ax congruent to B mod n if GCD of A and n equal to 1? Then according to this theorem, GCD of A and n, that is 1, divides B. Therefore, this linear congruence has a solution. And what are the solutions? Here, since D equal to 1, there is exactly one solution for this linear congruence, which is x0 in this list. Because here we have to add n by d, 2n by d, etc. d minus 1 into n by d. D minus 1 is here 1 minus 1, which is 0. So there is exactly one solution, which is x0. So we have a corollary here. If GCD of an equal to 1, then the linear congruence Ax congruent to B mod n has a unique solution modulo n. For example, if you consider the linear congruence 3x congruent to 2 mod 7, you may see that GCD of 3 and 7 equal to 1. And 1 divides 2. So this linear congruence has a solution, and since the GCD is 1 here, it has a unique solution. By trial and error, you may see that x equal to 3 is a solution, because 3 into x is 9 and 9 is congruent to 2 mod 7, because 9 minus 2 is a multiple of 7. So x equal to 3 is a solution of this linear congruence. But you may see that this linear congruence have other solutions also. For example, x equal to 10 is also a solution of this linear congruence, because 3 into 10 is 30, which is congruent to 2 mod 7, because 30 minus 2 is 28. 28 is a multiple of 7. But here it says that it has a unique solution modulo n. What do you mean by a solution modulo n? Here x equal to 3 is a solution, x equal to 10 is another solution, and you may see that this 10 is congruent to 3 mod 7, because 10 minus 3 is a multiple of 7. So there will be a unique solution modulo n, means that if there is any other solution, that solution will be congruent modulo n to the given solution x equal to 3. Here x equal to 17 is another solution, because 17 into 3 is 51, and 51 is congruent to 2 mod 7, because 51 minus 2 is 49, which is a multiple of 7. But we can see that this solution 17 is again congruent to the original solution 3 mod 7, because 17 minus 3 is 14, which is a multiple of 7. So the result says that if we have the linear congruence Ax congruent to B mod n and GCD of A and n equal to 1, then the linear congruence has a unique solution modulo n. If x equal to 3 is one such solution, then all other solutions are congruent to 3 modulo n. In the next class, we will use the results we discussed today to solve the linear congruences.